Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a layout share, and I'm also going to give you kind of a preview to some kind of half-finished layouts that I did in Sunday's class with Vicki Boutin using the amazing Spectrum Sherbet collection from 49 and Market. I'll tell you when I'm doing that, I'll tell you why I'm showing them to you this way. But first, let's do the other layouts. This one was done as a lift of Joanne Bartel, who is just one of my fave scrappers out there and a good friend. I loved this bubblegum machine cut file that she used, and she covered her sequins. She did the shaker pocket with mesh netting, and it was just so cute. But I had to make a margarita machine out of it. As soon as I saw it, what struck me was, and I love the photo next to the gumball machine and the cut file of the gumball machine there. This was, by the way, for her 1,000 subscriber hop. And she did this as a design team member for Coapa cut files. But I did a, and I loved that her title kind of went around this. I couldn't kind of put mine around there, so I did a masked a heart and did some ink to form the heart so that I could do Margaritaville around one part of the heart. And I used a fussy cut from Paige Evans. I'm losing the name right now. I would forget my own name if if I could, but her latest collection, and I cut it in half so I could use it in two places. This is a photo of a 2-story tall margarita machine that is in the Margaritaville Cafe in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And John and I stopped there, and this is us posing. Now you can see how big the margarita machine is behind us there. And I filtered this to get, kind of to brighten the colors. And you can see the restaurant, when I fussy cut it out, I didn't cut out the background behind it, which is restaurant customers, and you can kind of see that through there. So I love this page. This was the first day of our 31-day road trip across the U.S. Back in 2016, and we kind of set out to go to baseball games in as many ballparks as we could, and we managed 13 in 31 days. And we also wanted to stop for those like world's biggest ball of twine, or, and we stopped at the American Sign Museum and all kinds of other kind of goofy places. But we also kind of pledged to go to as many scrapbook stores and Margaritaville cafes as we could find. So this was our first Margaritaville cafe. I'm sad to say we didn't manage not even one scrapbook store, because I had done a search, and when we were in the areas where there was either bad weather or it was we were running late to get to our destination before dark, because neither of us drives in the dark. So anyway, it was I love this page. I could talk about it for days. This one is a Scrap Squad Sunday, and I combined it with my Scrap Backwards Monday using my Scrap Backwards kit and Stash Dive Tuesday. And I published it a day early for Stash Dive Tuesday and a day late for Scrap Squad Sunday. So I kind of split the difference there. I wasn't up to, with this going on, I wasn't up to doing all these strips. And one day I will do this because I have a lot of branding strips that I could cut, but I wanted to kind of coordinate. I wasn't sure I could get enough of them to go with my photo, which was a sports photo at Barrett's first spring game. So I took a striped paper and just tore it so that I could fit a cluster. Dived into my stash, I guess is the correct word, to get some fussy cut flowers from years ago and a whole bunch of other things. I have 3 red flares to kind of go with the background paper that I used. This was cut from a watercolor card. I was supposed to watercolor around it. Instead, I used it as a cut file. And backed it with some paper that I thought went with the tone of red in those flowers. Put a bee up there. I have a bramble fox geotag, and then I did a sticker geotag on top of it all from my Scrap Backwards kit. And a mix of Spiegelmom Scrap sequins. This little arrow with the heart is from Color Kaleidoscope. From Vicki Boutin. And this was from a Simple Stories Hearth and Home, I think, collection. So there's lots of different stuff represented here. This one is probably one of my favorite layouts ever, and it just further confirms how much I love Fernwood by Vicki Boutin. This is a lift of Rachel Lowe, and it was done for Challenge Accepted, and her page also used Fernwood, and I didn't have exactly the same things that she had, but I picked, and I'm into shortcuts these days, so instead of taking a plain page and doing mixed media, I picked a page that kind of had the same ledger look, and it kind of looked like it had some mixed media with these eraser type circles down here. And someone asked me what I meant by eraser circles. It's circles that you make on a layout with the eraser of a pencil. It's just so much fun to do that. I haven't done it in a while, but you can see on the bottom of this eraser, I have done that with it. I've dipped it into, you dip it into paint, and then you just go down here, and the first ones that you make have some paint in the center, but the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th tend to give you the outline only. So that's kind of fun to do. And look, it's a Margaritaville pencil. Margaritaville Beach Resort from Hollywood Beach, Florida. Who knew I had a pencil from them? So anyway, I used Fernwood. I filtered this photo so that it would go with the colors in Fernwood, and still her bright red shirt was bright red. So I added the red mushrooms and the red ticket and used, of course, this paper already had this flower. And I fussy cut around this, this image. And I had to, when I stuck things through it, I had to kind of shore it up with washi tape back behind it. But I fussy cut some butterflies and or moths, and put those in there, include a little one right here so that it wouldn't show the open part behind where this was and where I had cut those. So this is a picture of a little makeshift hair salon that Katie set up so she could cut a friend's hair. And she put a mirror there leaning against the screen and the railing. And I pushed the barbecue utensil table over so she could lay out all of her tools. And we rolled out a chair that I have at my sewing machine on this very same table. And then she struck that cute little pose. So anyway, that's that page. This one is one that didn't turn out, I like it, but it didn't turn out as good as I wanted it to. I think this big open part up here doesn't look like I would like for it to look. This one has some things kind of covering up some of the blotchy areas. And when I say blotchy, mixed media is often blotchy, and that doesn't bother me a lot. It's that this seems to be a big glob of blotch. It doesn't have enough depth and variation in it. And I tried to fix that with splatters, and it's kind of okay, but I like this part a lot better. Part of it is because this has the contrast of these orangey bits and the yellow and the green there. And this is just kind of all the same color. So anyway, this was done for Mixed Media Mayhem for the hop that was on May 27th. And the original is this one by tournoislemexcitron.blogspot.ca. I'm not sure who the artist is, if maybe that's the name, but this is where that original came from. And she's got the big blue part kind of up here too, but she's got some stars and other little dimensional dots there, as well as those words. So maybe that's what I should have done. Maybe I should go look for some dots and stars to put there, or sequins maybe. So anyway, it is what it is at the moment. And this one is one done for Pink Fresh Friday. And I used a couple of, I'm going through for Pink Fresh Fridays, my goal is to dig into my older Pink Fresh stash. And a lot of my older stash came from surprise boxes that I got from them. So there wasn't a lot of Pink Fresh, there wasn't any Pink Fresh available to purchase in stores here, but I got a sheet of Pink Fresh in a Mind the Scrap kit and went out and I guess joined their Facebook page or subscribed to them followed them on Instagram, and therefore I was put on a mailing list for when they had their surprise boxes. And this was maybe 5 years ago. And I got, and of course what came in the surprise box were a lot of collections that were older than 5 years ago old. So anyway, so I have some oldies but goodies in here, and I absolutely love this. This collection, I think, is Live something, Live Well, Live Loud, Live something or other. And I used a sheet of for the background, and then I diagonally cut another sheet in the same collection to give it this different look. And then I fussy cut these squares out of a different collection, a completely different one, and used embellishments from yet others. This and this, the two frames, are from a Christmas collection. So, and this is from a boys collection. So I really like this page, and I love those patina finish sequins from Spiegel Mom's Crafts because it matches the colors just beautifully. This one is for Simple Stories Saturdays. We had Pink Fresh Friday, Simple Stories Saturday, and I did and these will go together or side by side in an album, and they are made from completely different collections, obviously, and different manufacturers. And this has a lot of whites in it. This is muted tones, but still the photos and the backgrounds and the photos kind of tie them together. You can tell it's the same event, and a lot of the colors kind of go. So I'm happy with those being in the same album. And this is just a grid made from some cutouts from a Simple Stories collection. I've got a couple little color matched hearts from Bramble Fox and some Flair from Dottie About Flair. These, I wasn't sure I'd ever use them, but the colors were perfect for this. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Flairs here. And I just kind of drew in. I love the black and white with all of the other colors. And I love this background. This was on the back of all of these. So that was the A side of the grid paper, or the B side. It was the other side of the grid paper. This one is one that I just did for the most recent Scrap Squad Sunday. It was last Friday's lift, and it's by the amazing Laura Alberts. And I don't know about you, but I love absolutely everything she does. And when this one was done for the Cocoa Vanilla design team, and it used there are fussy cut stars and all kinds of stars added to this paper, and I'm not sure what's printed on the paper and what's added to the paper, but she's just made it so interesting, and those are really cool photos. So anyway, it's kind of I decided to go with Cocoa Vanilla because I could find, some similar stars. I got these from No Limits, I think, and some of these are from Boys Rule, and the arrows are from Boys Rule. The background is from Sunkissed, and I've mentioned this in my video. I hated using the other side of this paper. I hate that this paper is going to be hidden inside my album. So it's, but I love this page. It's James and Ava and her boyfriend Jonathan at a concert. And then this is a clip taken out of a movie, a video that James took of Ava singing along and kind of rocking to the song. And so, and I did that You Rock from a cutout, I think, from Boys Rule. Might have been from No Limits. And this little, what the, and that's pointing at James. He's wearing a Radkey t-shirt, and he and I were at this same venue, and Ava was there with her mom and her sister Allie, and James and I were sitting together when the Radkeys performed, and they're a group of brothers who do punk alternative, and I really loved them. I loved their guitar player. Their drummer was amazing, and James got one of their t-shirts, and I've been trying to talk him out of that t-shirt. So has Ava. But anyway, I love this page. And I did some baby squirrels on top of some camouflage flare. Okay, and then this one is the one that was published yesterday. It was for my Scrap Backwards Weekly, so I used a lot of my Scrap Backwards kit. It was for Scrap-A-Sketch number 28, which is this sketch right here. And I promise you, when it started, if you watch the video, you'll see, it looked pretty much just like this, with the circles down the center, the photos kind of off to the side, and some subtle mixed media, which you can see in a couple places there. And then I started adding in stuff from my kit and other stuff from my stash, and I did it on Craft to be the Craft Plus challenge, and I used the Prisma Apple filter to filter these photos to kind of cartoonize them. And this is Ava walking up to get her award for graduating middle school, and it kind of talks about what a rebel she is, so as not to have any reverence whatsoever for this occasion or any, she had absolutely was not compelled to dress up or even particularly consider it a celebration. But for those of us who watched her try to go to middle school when she was so frail from chemo in 6th grade, and then to see her become more and more antisocial with all the isolation of COVID the following year, and then to kind of see her having gotten through this year, made some friends, has a boyfriend, and has done really well in school. This was an important day for us, if not for her. So it was a big day. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, so those are the layouts I've made and completed, and I believe there are videos for all of these out on my channel, the channel that you're watching this on. Now, what there are not any videos of, except if you want to watch Vicki Boutin make them, you can pay $20 for the class that's out on YouTube. This is not a Vicki Boutin collection. She just loves the 49 and Market Spectrum Sherbet collection, and it actually goes so well with her new collection, Sweet Rush. A lot of the colors really do. This is the state of the layouts as I made them along with her during the class. And for this one, we fussy cut this sunburst and laid it on top of another. See here, this is the other side of that. We fussy cut it. We had 2 sheets of it, fussy cut this, and then I popped it up and curled it and laid it on top of the reverse side of that paper, which has some of this interesting detail. This pink stitching is a rub-on. This striped bit is a rub-on. I added little pink accents around. This is a rub-on here, this mixed media look, and then this down here, and the butterfly is a rub-on. This is a butterfly ephemera. This was some chipboard, and I added these patina finish sequins inside there. I'm going to do something here, not sure what photo I'm going to use, but I'm going to finish all of these on camera. I'm going to print photos. I'm going to decide what photos, and then print the photos, and then finish them and add any little finishing embellishments overlapping the photos, things like that. So it shouldn't take too long, but this is a double pager, and I'm going to try to lay it out like that. So let me check and see if you can see that. I actually did a rub-on so that half of it was on this side and half on this side. Same here with this mixed media rub-on, and I cut this one in 2 and used half of it here and half of it here. And I have these little seed beads that are a rub-on here. It was Vicki's idea to do rub-ons onto vellum and then fussy cut out the vellum. So I have vellum butterflies here that were done with rub-ons and my own vellum from my stash. I know what photos I'm going to use for this double pager. This is going to document the night that the girls were here doing scrapping, and so the photos are going to go over what you see here. This will probably, I'll probably print the photo. The photos are going to be square, so I'm going to have photos, maybe a square photo here and some more embellishments there, but the background may be all, I may make the background all white, and so the embellishments might end up being rub-ons. So, and then here I'll just do the photos matted in white and do that, and the part of this that shows I may do some sequins, and they may be lime green. And so here's another one of those small. I cut this in two, put half of it under the green. This is going to be over the green, but under the white, that matte there. So, and this one's going to be the picture of the girls. And this may be journaling with some rub-ons. And what I did here was I just kind of stacked. When Vicki pulled out the color-matched ephemera and chipboards, she just kind of laid them over on this side of her paper. And she did something very different with this, but I liked when she laid it out, so I just kind of did it that way. And I color matched it's tone on tone to a degree, and then I added some accents just for interest. So I put a butterfly that's not pink up here with the pink, and I have pink down here with the blue, and some yellow and orange down here with the darker blue. So I absolutely love this collection, and I think I'm going to love this once I get those photos on there. This one was one that we fussy cut this out of the bottom of one sheet of paper, overlaid it on another, and I think Vicki used this side when she did hers. I chose this side, and I used those same lime green dotty mats. She used some twine on hers. I pulled out some twine and a couple colors that went. It was very monochrome looking until I dared to add some of this color down in here, and I decided I liked it, so I added a butterfly and kind of that color in twine, and then this tall, and that's all from the ephemera pack. This is from one of the ephemera packs. These are chipboards, and that's ephemera and a ticket and one of those titles, and this is a rub-on. And I am pretty sure I'm going to use a couple travel photos of myself and John. That's the Once Upon a Dream part, and the Good Life and Together, and love this. So it'll probably be photos that you've seen before, but never on a background like this. And then this one was the last one I did. I saw through to the end of the class there. This paper had this circle on it, and we had this viewfinder or Viewmaster circle there. So we kind of put that down there. I did some seed bead rub-ons to make it look like a little bit of a shaker going on there. Added some tickets here, arched some leaves around, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do here. I have some, there are several photos of the kids looking very like they're contemplating their futures and world events. And so I thought that would be a good photo for the Hello Dreamer title. I'm going to get some watercolor and color these letters. I probably should have done that before they were on the page, but because I'm planning to drip color, but if it bleeds off onto the paper, that just kind of adds to the look and draws your eye to it. So this one is my blue and green with pink accents, and it's kind of the same color scheme I used here, where I'm doing kind of highlighting the blues and the pinks. Even though all the other colors are there, I did add some yellow butterflies, and I don't have anything green there, so I may add something green. Since there's green over here, I may add something green on this side of the photo. And then this last one is one that Vicki went a different direction, and my hand began to really hurt at about this time. At one time, someone had suggested she use these lace strips are in the punch-out ephemera in the collection, and I cut different lengths and kind of laid them on top of the colors. Vicki was kind of headed that way, and then she was going to go to using all polka dots, and then she went to do something completely different. And my idea is that I may do a photo out here. I may do a photo on the white parts of the, maybe, and then some, rub-ons and some other stuff. But as far as I've gotten is to glue these down, these lace strips down, and to kind of turn them up to add some dimensions so that you can see that they're lace. And then I will finish this one in a separate video. I'll finish all of these in the same video. So I'll have 2 videos this week finishing up these pages. And other than those, I'll have Challenge Accepted on Thursday and Mixed Media Mayhem on Friday. And I think after that there will be nothing until I show up in Europe and start creating at Adam's house in Manchester. So thank you for watching. Empty desktop for now. I'm gonna rest this and keep the Voltaren gel coming and try to get some creating done this week. Thank you for watching. Bye.